Wave 31 Storm Tracker Chief Meteorologist Jeff Castle with 31 Triple Doppler.
Another day of scattered showers and storms, but it is not hot. So
I know. So, you know, that is the silver lining. We're not sweating it out there here in late July, but rain does make it a little bit difficult for outdoor activities.
This is true.
Certainly today we had some widespread rain across the area. It is tapering off a little bit, but guess what? We've got another round coming tomorrow. Let's kind of talk about it here. Your Wednesday rain chances once again start ramping up in the morning and likely linger into the afternoon in some form or fashion. Now, will it rain everywhere all day long? No. But as we saw today, there could be some spots where maybe you have several hours where you're kind of in and out of the wet weather. So tomorrow probably once again is going to be a fairly reasonable inside sort of day. Outdoor activities, would not recommend planning too many of those, but you might be able to get in something in between the showers and the thunder showers. That'll be back tomorrow. Those rain chances stay elevated for another couple of days. We are seeing signs that perhaps the rain chances do take a little bit of a dip heading into the weekend. So if we can work out the timing well, maybe not quite as soggy coming up for Saturday and Sunday, although still not taking rain out of the forecast, as I fully expect there will be at least a handful of showers and storms to deal with for the weekend. Here's what we have right now on Wave 31 Triple Doppler, and as I mentioned earlier, most of the wet weather has kind of settled into the southern part of the area, generally south of the Tennessee River. Most of DeKalb County fairly wet, only far southern Marshall County seeing rain, Coleman County looking at a lot of wet weather, and also parts of northwest Alabama and the Shoals. Some additional showers are beginning to come on in. So if you do have plans here this evening, just keep in mind some of you will be staying wet. And you can see we're not the only ones dealing with this. Rain extends all the way from Virginia back into Texas. The upper level flow is out of the southwest. Within this, we have embedded disturbances in the atmosphere that help provide a little extra lift and get rain going. So what you see back here helping to fire up rain in Texas, well, that energy will be eventually making its way into the Tennessee Valley, so that's why we will continue with scattered wet weather for the next several days and perhaps somewhat widespread at times as well. Here's the latest with Future Radar. Doing a fairly good job, a little bit overdone, especially in the northern part of the area with the rainfall, but certainly showing the concentration here in southern parts of North Alabama. We'll put things into motion. Take a look at the trend, and heading into the evening hours, notice it's a drying trend. So between now and 10 o'clock tonight, we're gradually going to diminish the rain activity. That will not be it, though. Some indications that after midnight tonight, some light rain or shower activity may start to move back into the area. We saw that in a few spots last night. Heading into tomorrow morning, some spots of wet weather, 6 a.m. Not everyone will get rained on for the morning drive, but some of you may encounter some wet weather. And I'll just remind you, check in with meteorologist Grace Anello first thing tomorrow morning. She'll show you what you're going to have to contend with for the morning commute. Certainly as the morning wears on and we head into the afternoon, notice rain begins expanding across the area, so we'll be tracking some more widespread shower and thunderstorm activity, and potentially, like today, maybe an isolated stronger thunderstorm. Now, there's not a real organized risk for severe weather, but some of these storms, as we saw earlier today, have just enough energy to work with that they could bring a strong wind threat along with the heavy downpours. 5 o'clock here on your Wednesday looks fairly wet, and then heading into tomorrow evening, once again, we'll likely see a bit of a drop-off in the rain activity, although some of that may continue on into Wednesday night, and then we're going to do the same thing all over again, it looks like, on Thursday. Temperatures overnight tonight will be about where they have been in recent nights. We'll eventually dip into the low end of the 70s. Tomorrow, clouds and rainfall again hold us back. We're not complaining about the temperatures, that's for sure, but maybe at this point we'll start complaining about rain. We'll likely stay in the 70s most of the day tomorrow, may briefly touch that 80-degree mark in a few spots. That will, of course, depending on the timing of the rainfall and the peak heating into the afternoon, but you can see most everyone somewhere 78, 79, right around the 80-degree mark, which is more than 10 degrees below our average for late July. Wave 31 Storm Tracker 10-day, no change on Thursday. We keep it near 80. We keep rain in the forecast. By Friday and into the weekend, it does look like the rain chances will go down slightly and the temperatures edge up just a little bit, but still nothing too bad for this time of year, but getting back likely into the mid to upper 80s for the weekend. Next week, we'll continue this transition in the pattern to a little less rain and slightly hotter weather with temperatures maybe getting back up around that 90-degree mark heading into early August, which would be a little bit more typical than what we've got out there right now.
Wouldn't it be lovely if it could just stay this way through fall?
It would be fantastic, but we know we've got August to get through. Even September can bring some hot weather.
Yes.
And in my experience, we kind of get locked into patterns. So right now the pattern is damp and cooler. At some point, to balance everything out, we're probably going to swing
Right.
back to hotter and drier weather.
So enjoy this weather now, guys.
Exactly.
Jeff, thank you.
You bet.
Next, the news.